What's up, guys? This is former Springbok and Rugby World Cup winner Brian Havana. You're watching Gareth Mason on Walking Tall with G-Man.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about Rugby World Cup and the current anger it has been causing during the start of kickoff that took place a couple of weeks ago. Now, the Rugby World Cup has brought frustration, it's brought sadness, it's brought excitement, it's brought a lot of joy and happiness. To be honest, as watching as a fan, I think this has been an amazing, supportive World Cup, one of the best. I mean, every stadium has been sold out, even the weaker games that one might not be quite interested in watching. It's really been fantastic. I think Japan, the people, have been amazing hosts throughout this tournament. We've seen the respect that they've shown to all the host nations, how they try and sing the anthems, how they've been supporting at the training grounds. It's really been amazing of what we have seen from the Japanese people, and I think a lot of credit is due to them for it. But today's video, obviously, I'm asking the question, most controversial Rugby World Cup of all time. Now, there's a few factors, yeah? It's obviously, one is refereeing. Now, I don't want to go too much into the referees because obviously it causes very mixed emotions, yeah? But it's the most cards so far in history, and it's technically the primary talking point of this World Cup. Everyone's mentioning this, after a game, if we've seen cards, maybe we've seen too many cards. I mean, the other game the other day, 4 yellow cards in one game. When do you hear that? Wales versus Fiji. I mean, that's crazy. We've seen red cards. We've seen the baby teams really put up a fight, and then a red card comes in, they get absolutely annihilated. We've seen really strange calls from referees where maybe a card should be given and it's not quite been given. So it's a lot of mixed emotions that we've seen throughout this World Cup, and people are not happy about it. I've read on Twitter there's a lot of upset people about it, and again, mixed emotions. A lot of people are for the cards, are against the cards. I'm never a big fan of red cards because it just changes the entire game. I would rather punish the player and allow, maybe penalize him 20 points, or not 20 points, 20 minutes or something, and then bring on another player in replace of him. Punish him. He made the stupid error, so therefore he must be punished, kind of thing. Instead of punishing the whole team. I know if one man goes down, your whole team goes down, kind of thing, but just certain things that I reckon could be done in place. Also, selection of referees. Was it done correctly? Do we have the best referees there? I mean, there are a lot of guys from New Zealand, Australia who might have missed out on opportunity. Why are there 4 French referees, or more actually, in this World Cup, when they are probably the most unpopular refs in World Rugby? I mean, Roman Poit, Jerome Garcia's, not much good has been said about these two guys. And I'm not going back to New Zealand, South Africa, long gone from that. But odd calls that they've made throughout this World Cup. I mean, the consistency has not been great from these two referees. Why do they get more games? And why haven't we seen more, maybe South Africans? I mean, we've got quality refs here. I know the odd one makes a mistake, but we've got one TMO. So, yeah. I just think a relook at that, or maybe get Nigel Owens to start a teaching class on how to teach referees, because he's the best ref in the world. I will gladly have him ref any of the Springbok games because he's just brilliant. There was a ref the other day, I think it was South Africa, Canada. I was highly impressed with him. He was leading the game, controlling it. Welsh referee again, I think. He was explaining his reasoning as to what and how he's doing it. I thought that was outstanding. So credit to that gentleman as well. I forgot his name. So World Rugby need to think about that going forward, especially in a big tournament like this, and one where we see it being the most competitive it's ever been. And then obviously the second point, and I mentioned this in yesterday's video about the Typhoon, is why select a country that has typhoon season, or put the World Cup in the respective country in the middle of typhoon season. I'm all for Japan hosting the Rugby World Cup. Like I said at the start of the video, they've done a great job. But why put it in the time when there's a time where natural disasters could occur? We all know that games will get cancelled or postponed. And you can't afford it in a big tournament like a World Cup. I had the same issue with the Cricket World Cup in England in a time like that where we know there's a lot of rain. I mean, why do we do these things? What's the process? They need to regroup, rethink on how to schedule games. Look, rugby players can play in rain, but obviously when there's a typhoon that can destroy a stadium, kill people, or injure people, we don't kind of want to play rugby there. And I hardly understand that. But why then select the World Cup and put it there? Why not bring it early in the year or a couple months before when typhoon season's not going to hit? Because this is Typhoon Hagibis, who's the biggest typhoon of 2019. Who's not saying another one's on its way that could knock out? I mean, we had another name for the previous one 3 weeks ago. When the final comes at the end of this month or the start of November, what we're going to get rained out finals. I know the knockout games have backup days, but what if this thing lasts longer than a day or two? What if it destroys the stadium? These things World Cup Rugby should have thought of, in my opinion, because when you got a massive tournament like that, when the whole world is watching with so much intensity, passion, and power, you know, why not have thought this out? I mean, there are teams like Italy suffering. Scotland could maybe suffer over the weekend. An opportunity of progression. I know Italy wouldn't have beaten New Zealand, but Scotland should beat Japan, or Japan could beat Scotland. I mean, either way, Scotland are going to miss out on an opportunity to fight for their position that they've worked so hard to get to after their loss to Ireland. So, and also Ireland, they were threatened early in the week about maybe missing out on a potential World Cup opportunity. What's in place? How are they going to go about this next World Cup? Because controversial World Cup shouldn't be the talk. It should be the greatest World Cup, the best World Cup. Because now every time people look back at this, they're going to say, oh, that was the time of the typhoons. Oh, that was the time when the referees gave the most cards. It's the way we think as fans. We unfortunately go for all these things. I'm guilty too. I do it too every now and then. So it's just World Rugby need to really think of procedures and put them in place in order to prevent situations like this happening. Next World Cup's in France. We're safe. Bring 2027 to South Africa because we got sun, beautiful weather. Odd rain, we're in drought. So we got brilliant weather for rugby. So, no drought. We are in drought, sorry. So we can host the Rugby World Cup with pleasure. So that's my talk. Is it the most controversial Rugby World Cup of all time? Maybe there's some points. But I think it's still got the potential to be great. And I think people are upset because certain teams are kicked out. But once the knockout stage is hit and we get the actual rivalries of games, then I think we're going to get more excited and talk about this World Cup. I just hope the refs don't get too much say or involved in what could happen with regards to a card changing a quarterfinal or a final or a semi-final. That I don't want. Because then people will not shut up about it and we're going to hear it for the rest of our time. But yeah, that's just my thoughts of it. Do I think it's so much controversial? 40-60 maybe. But I still think it's been a great World Cup. I've thoroughly enjoyed it and I cannot wait for the knockout stage. I just hope the typhoons stay away and the referees ref the game properly. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think it is, or do you think it's been a fantastic World Cup? That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, stay safe and never give up. Cheers.